Hey everyone, welcome back to the Deep Dive.
Yeah.
This episode is powered by Growth Suite, the Shopify app that helps you run smart discount campaigns on your store. Test it for free on the Shopify App Store. Just land on the Shopify App Store now and test it for free. All right, let's get started. Today, we're taking a deep dive into optimizing your Shopify Product Detail Page.
Okay.
You've sent over this really helpful article, Optimize Shopify Product Detail Page. And we're going to break down the most important tips and, more importantly, why they matter.
Yeah, and what's interesting is this article's emphasis on mobile optimization,
Okay.
which makes sense given that most Shopify browsing happens on phones these days.
It does, doesn't it? I'm actually curious.
Yeah.
Do you find yourself shopping more on your phone these days?
Oh, absolutely.
I feel like I'm always browsing on the go.
Yeah, me too. And the article really stresses that mobile-first approach.
Yeah.
For instance, it highlights the need for a clear call to action button above the fold, meaning you don't have to scroll to see it.
Okay. Above the fold. I'm with you. But help me understand why that's so crucial for mobile users. Is it really that big of a deal?
It really is. On a small screen, you want to minimize the effort it takes for someone to buy your product.
Okay.
Think about it. Scrolling takes time
Right.
and effort. Above the fold is like that prime storefront window,
I see.
instantly grabbing attention. Plus, you know how easily we get distracted on our phones.
Oh, tell me about it.
Right, one notification and I'm down a rabbit hole.
Yeah, exactly.
So having that Buy Now button immediately visible can be the difference between a sale and a lost customer.
Right.
The article even suggests using sticky buttons that stay visible as the user scrolls.
Interesting.
Talk about persistent persuasion.
Sticky buttons. Now that's interesting. I haven't seen many sites using those yet.
Mhm.
Maybe that's something to look into. The article also talks a lot about visuals,
Yes.
especially high-quality, zoomable product photos.
Yeah.
Why do you think they put so much emphasis on that?
Well, visuals are incredibly powerful. Online shopping lacks the tangible experience of a physical store.
Right.
So high-quality photos become essential.
I see.
Think of it this way. They allow potential customers to see the product in detail, almost like holding it in their hands,
Okay.
and being able to zoom in
Yeah.
gives them that control and confidence they might miss online.
It's like bringing the product to life through the screen.
Exactly. And the article goes beyond just basic product shots.
Okay.
It talks about the value of lifestyle photos
Right.
and variant images.
What's the thinking behind using those? I admit sometimes those lifestyle shots feel a little staged to me.
Well, lifestyle photos can help customers envision how the product fits into their lives.
Okay.
It's about creating a connection, showing them how they'll feel using it.
Okay.
Of course, authenticity is key.
Right.
A cheesy, overly posed photo can backfire.
Yeah.
But a well-done lifestyle shot can really seal the deal.
Yeah.
And showcasing different product variants, colors, sizes, etc. ensures that customers see exactly what they're getting, reducing the guesswork and potential returns.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Speaking of appealing to the customer,
Yes.
the article really dives into the importance of writing compelling product descriptions.
Yes.
It's not just about listing features, right?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Your product description should be like that expert salesperson in a store,
Okay.
guiding the customer, answering their questions before they even ask.
I see.
Remember, online shoppers can't physically touch or try the product,
Right.
so your words need to paint a vivid picture and highlight the benefits.
So it's about creating that same level of personalized service you'd get in a brick-and-mortar store, but through your writing.
Precisely. Think about the problems your product solves, the emotions it evokes, the lifestyle it represents.
Okay.
The article even suggests thinking of it as a conversation with the customer. What would you tell them if you were standing right there with them?
Okay, so we've covered visuals and descriptions.
Yeah.
What else is crucial for a high-converting Shopify product page? What about social proof? I feel like online reviews can make or break a purchase these days.
You're absolutely right. Reviews, testimonials, user-generated content.
Yeah.
These are all powerful tools for building trust and credibility.
Okay.
Remember, we're constantly seeking validation online, and those authentic voices of other customers can be incredibly persuasive.
It's like that word-of-mouth marketing we all trust, but in a digital format.
Exactly. And what's interesting is that the article emphasizes the need for both positive and negative reviews.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Why would you want to highlight negative reviews? Isn't that bad for business?
It might seem counterintuitive, but a mix of reviews actually enhances authenticity.
Okay.
Think about it. If every review is glowing, it can start to feel fake or suspicious.
Yeah.
Showing a few less than perfect reviews actually increases trust. It shows you're not hiding anything, and it helps potential customers make a more informed decision.
That's a really good point.
Mm.
I guess it's about showing the full picture, warts and all,
Mm.
and user-generated content, those photos and videos from actual customers.
Yes.
Those can be even more powerful than professional shots, can't they?
Absolutely. They feel more relatable, more genuine. It's like getting a recommendation from a friend.
Okay, so far we've got mobile-first design,
Mm.
compelling visuals, persuasive descriptions, and the power of social proof.
Yes.
What else did this optimized Shopify product detail page article cover?
Well, there's one strategy I found particularly interesting.
What's that?
Showcasing similar products on the product detail page.
That's intriguing. I've seen that on some sites. But I'm curious about the psychology behind it. Why would you want to potentially distract customers with other products when they're already looking at something specific?
Think of it as offering helpful suggestions, not distractions.
Okay.
It's about keeping customers engaged and exploring their options.
Okay.
Even if they're initially interested in one product, they
Mhm.
might discover something even better suited to their needs.
So it's not about diverting their attention. It's about expanding their horizons within your store.
Exactly. And it can lead to higher average order values and overall sales.
Okay.
It's like gently nudging them towards, hey, if you like this, you might love this too.
It's like that customers also bought section,
Yeah.
but with a more strategic approach. Speaking of being helpful, the article also talks about being transparent with shipping and return policies.
Mhm.
Why is that so important on the product detail page?
Transparency builds trust.
Okay.
Customers want to know exactly what to expect when they make a purchase, especially online. Clear shipping and return policies remove any doubts or anxieties they might have.
It makes sense. No one wants to be surprised by hidden fees or a complicated return process.
Exactly. The article suggests using simple language and making these policies easily accessible on the product detail page. Don't bury them in the fine print.
So we've covered mobile optimization, visuals, descriptions, social proof, similar product suggestions, and transparent policies. What else is there?
Well, this one might surprise you. The article actually talks about optimizing out-of-stock product pages.
Now that's interesting. Why spend time optimizing a page for a product you don't even have available?
It's about making the most of a potentially lost opportunity. Instead of just showing a sold-out message,
Okay.
you can use that page to collect email addresses from interested customers.
So you can notify them when the product is back in stock.
Exactly. It's a great way to capture leads and nurture future sales.
Yeah,
You can also showcase similar products on that out-of-stock page,
I see.
keeping those customers engaged with your brand.
Oh, I see. It's like turning a dead end into a pathway to future sales. Instead of just disappointing the customer, you're giving them a reason to stick around.
Precisely. And it shows that you're still thinking about their needs even when you can't immediately fulfill them.
Okay, so far we've covered a lot of ground. Mobile optimization, strong visuals, compelling descriptions, the importance of social proof suggesting similar products,
Right.
transparent policies, and even making the most of out-of-stock pages.
Yes.
What else is in store for us in this deep dive?
Well, one crucial factor the article emphasizes is page loading speed.
Ugh, I hate waiting for slow websites. It's like watching paint dry.
Yeah.
Why does page speed matter so much?
It's more than just impatience. Page speed directly impacts conversions, SEO, and even campaign performance.
Wow, I didn't realize it had that much of an effect.
It really does. Think about it. If a page takes too long to load, people are more likely to abandon it, costing you potential customers. Search engines also penalize slow sites,
Right.
affecting your ranking.
I see.
And if you're running ads, slow loading times can eat into your budget and decrease your return on investment.
So optimizing page speed is crucial for both user experience and business success.
Exactly. Now on to another important point, the strategic use of trust badges and icons. Have you ever noticed those little badges on websites, things like security seals or free shipping icons?
Oh yeah, I see those all the time.
Yeah.
I've always wondered how much they actually influence people's decisions.
Well, they can be quite effective when used strategically. They act as visual cues that instantly communicate trust and credibility. Imagine you're about to make a purchase online. Seeing a familiar security badge from a reputable company can give you that extra reassurance to proceed.
It's like a virtual stamp of approval.
Exactly. The key is to choose badges that align with your brand values and resonate with your target audience.
So if I'm selling organic products, a badge from a certified organic organization would make sense.
Precisely. It reinforces your brand messaging and builds trust with potential customers.
Now, before we wrap up this part of our deep dive,
Mm-hmm.
there's one more tool the article highlights that I'm really curious about.
Okay.
Live chat support. I've used it myself, and it can be so helpful. What are your thoughts on it?
Live chat is a game changer for e-commerce.
Okay,
It allows customers to get instant answers to their questions,
right.
creating a sense of personalized attention that can make a big difference in closing a sale.
It's like having a virtual salesperson right there
Mm.
to guide you through the shopping process.
Exactly. And it can be especially valuable for addressing any last-minute concerns or hesitations a customer might have before completing their purchase.
It's that extra touch that can make all the difference.
It really can.
Well, I think we've covered a ton of ground already in this first part of our deep dive.
Yes.
We've explored the importance of mobile-first design,
Mhm.
compelling visuals, persuasive product descriptions, social-proof strategic product suggestions,
Right.
transparent policies, and even making the most of out-of-stock pages.
Yes.
Wow.
It's a lot.
And don't forget, this deep dive is powered by Growth Suite,
Yes.
the Shopify app that helps you run smart discount campaigns on your store. Test it for free on the Shopify App Store.
Mm-hmm.
Just land on the Shopify App Store now and test it for free. Now let's take a quick break and we'll be back with more insights and tips on optimizing your Shopify product detail page in part 2 of this episode.
Sounds good. Welcome back to the deep dive as we continue exploring this idea of optimizing your Shopify product detail page. I'm struck by how much psychology is involved. It's not just about design elements.
Right.
It's about understanding how people think and behave online.
You're so right. It's
Yeah.
like we're trying to create a digital experience that mimics that feeling of walking into a store and being helped by a knowledgeable salesperson.
Exactly. And that's why this article is so valuable. It gives us a roadmap, but more importantly, it helps us understand the why behind each tactic.
Speaking of understanding the why, the article mentions testing and data analysis. It's not enough to just implement these tips and hope for the best, is it?
Not at all. What works for one store might not work for another. Your audience, your brand, your products, they're all unique. That's why A/B testing and data analysis are crucial.
Okay.
Try different approaches, track your results, and see what resonates best with your specific customers.
It's like that old saying, measure twice, cut once. But in this case, it's more like test twice, optimize once. I remember the article emphasizing that most Shopify browsing happens on mobile devices. Does that mean we should almost ignore desktop optimization?
Not ignore, but prioritize mobile for sure.
Okay.
It's a game changer. You have to think about how the page looks, feels, and functions on that smaller screen.
Right. Things like page load, speed button placement, image sizes, they all become even more critical on mobile.
Absolutely. The article highlights some really smart ways to optimize for mobile, like those sticky add to cart buttons we talked about earlier. They stay visible even as the user scrolls, minimizing the effort it takes to buy. And making sure your product images are high quality and zoomable allows users to really see those details even on a smaller screen.
It's all about making that mobile shopping experience as smooth and enjoyable as possible.
Right.
Now, I want to go back to something we talked about earlier, crafting compelling product descriptions.
Yes.
The article made that interesting analogy to an offline physical store experience.
Oh, yes, the salesperson analogy. It's brilliant. A good salesperson doesn't just rattle off features. They understand your needs, anticipate your questions, and guide you toward the best solution. That's what your product description should do online.
So instead of just listing dry facts and figures, we need to tell a story, evoke emotions, and show the customer how the product will enhance their lives.
Exactly. Think about using vivid language storytelling, maybe even a touch of humor. Make it personal, engaging, and persuasive. You want the reader to feel like they're having a conversation with you, not just reading a wall of text.
That's like building rapport through words. Speaking of building trust, let's go back to the idea of social proof. We both agree that online reviews can make a huge impact on purchasing decisions. But the article also mentioned something that surprised me, the importance of showcasing both positive and negative feedback.
It's counterintuitive, isn't it?
Yeah.
But think about it this way. Have you ever come across a product page where every single review is 5 stars and glowing? It can feel a little suspect.
Oh, totally. Like,
Well-
is this product really that perfect? Are these reviews even real?
Exactly. That's where those less than perfect reviews come in. They add authenticity, showing that you're not trying to hide anything. It actually builds trust when you're transparent about both the pros and cons.
It's like saying, hey, we're not claiming to be perfect, but here's what real people are saying about our product, good and bad. And what about user-generated content? Those customer photos and videos can be incredibly persuasive, can't they?
Absolutely. They're like mini testimonials. They add a level of authenticity and relatability that you just can't get from professional product shots.
It's like getting a recommendation from a friend or seeing the product in the wild, so to speak. Now, here's the strategy that I'm still a bit unsure about showcasing similar products on the product detail page. I get the idea of keeping customers engaged, but wouldn't that distract them from the product they're already looking at?
It's a valid concern, but think of it this way. You're not trying to divert their attention, you're offering them helpful suggestions. It's like saying, hey, since you're interested in this, you might also love these.
Okay, I see your point. It's like providing that personalized guidance you'd get from a salesperson in a store.
Hmm.
They might point you towards similar items or offer alternatives based on your needs.
Exactly, and it can lead to higher average order values if customers discover additional products they want to add to their cart.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about something that's crucial for building trust, being transparent with shipping and return policies. The article really stressed the importance of this on the product detail page.
Transparency is key for online shopping.
Hmm.
Think about it. You're asking someone to trust you with their personal information and their money. Clear, concise shipping and return policies address those concerns head on.
It removes that element of doubt and risk, especially for first-time customers.
Exactly. And don't bury those policies in legalese or fine print. Use simple language and make them easily accessible on the product detail page.
It's about making the customer feel confident and comfortable throughout the entire purchasing process. Now, I have to admit, I was completely surprised by the article's advice on optimizing out-of-stock product pages. Why bother optimizing a page for a product that's not even available?
It might seem counterintuitive, but it's about turning a potentially negative experience into a positive one. Instead of just showing a sold-out message, you can use that page to collect email addresses from interested customers.
So you can notify them when the product is back in stock.
Exactly. It's a great way to capture leads and nurture future sales. You can also showcase similar products on that out-of-stock page, keeping those customers engaged with your brand.
It's about making the most of every opportunity, even when you can't immediately fulfill a customer's request.
Right. It shows that you're still thinking about their needs and offering them valuable alternatives. Now let's shift gears to something that's often overlooked but incredibly important: page loading speed. We all know how frustrating it is to wait for a slow website to load.
Ugh, don't even get me started. I have zero patience for slow websites. I'm hitting that back button before the page even finishes loading.
I hear you. But slow loading times aren't just annoying, they're bad for business. The article highlights how page speed impacts conversions, SEO, and even campaign performance.
I know it's important, but I'm curious, how does page speed actually affect those things?
Think about it. If a page takes too long to load, people are more likely to abandon it, which means lost sales. Search engines like Google also consider page speed when ranking websites, so a slow site could be hurting your visibility.
So we're not just talking about user experience. We're talking about lost sales and lower search rankings. That's a double whammy.
Exactly. And if you're running ad campaigns, slow loading times can waste your budget and lead to lower click-through rates.
So optimizing page speed is essential for both happy customers and a healthy bottom line.
Absolutely. Now let's talk about those little visual cues that can have a big impact. Trust badges and icons. We touched on them earlier, but they deserve a deeper dive. You mean those little badges for things like secure checkout or free shipping? I've seen them everywhere, but I'm honestly not sure how much they actually influence people's decisions.
They can be very persuasive when used strategically.
Okay.
Think about it. You're asking someone to trust you with their personal and financial information online.
Yeah.
Seeing a familiar trust badge from a reputable source can provide that extra reassurance they need to complete the purchase.
It's like seeing a security guard at the entrance of a store. It makes you feel safer and more confident.
Exactly. And choosing badges that align with your brand values is key. If you're selling organic products, displaying a certified organic badge would resonate with your target audience. If you offer free shipping, highlighting that with a badge can be a powerful incentive.
It's about using those visual cues to reinforce your brand message and build that instant trust.
Precisely. Now, before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, let's revisit the topic of live chat support. We both agree that it can be an incredibly valuable tool for e-commerce. I love live chat. It's so convenient to get instant answers to your questions, especially when you're on the fence about buying something.
Exactly. And that immediacy is what makes live chat so powerful. It mimics that personalized attention you'd get from a salesperson in a store, which can make all the difference in closing a sale.
It's like having a virtual shopping assistant right there with you, guiding you through the process and answering any questions you might have.
Exactly. And it can be especially helpful for addressing any last-minute concerns or objections a customer might have before completing their purchase.
It's like that final nudge of reassurance that can tip the scales in your favor.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground in this second part of our deep dive. We've explored the psychology behind effective product pages, the importance of data-driven decisions, the need for mobile-first optimization, the power of social proof and trust badges, and the value of personalized service through live chat. It's amazing how many factors contribute to creating a truly successful online shopping experience.
It really is. And a quick reminder that this episode is powered by Growth Suite. Growth Suite helps you to run smart discount campaigns on your Shopify store. Test it for free on the Shopify App Store. Just land on the Shopify App Store now and test it for free. Now let's move on to the final part of our deep dive, where we'll uncover even more insights from the Optimized Shopify Product Detail Page article. Welcome back to the deep dive. We've been unpacking a ton of valuable tips from this Optimized Shopify Product Detail Page article. And, one thing that keeps coming up for me is how much of this is about going beyond just showcasing the product. It's about creating an experience, building trust, and really connecting with the customer.
That's such a key insight. It's about creating a holistic experience, addressing not just their immediate need for a product, but also their potential concerns, questions, and even those moments when things don't go as planned.
Remember how we talked about optimizing out-of-stock product pages as a real aha moment for me?
I agree. It's a perfect example of shifting our perspective. Instead of seeing an out-of-stock page as a dead end, we can turn it into an opportunity to engage with customers, capture leads, and build anticipation for the product's return.
It's like saying, hey, we know you're interested, and we'll let you know the moment it's back.
Yeah.
In the meantime, check out these other great options. It's proactive and keeps the customer in the loop.
Exactly. It shows that you're thinking about their needs even when you can't immediately fulfill them. Now let's talk about those trust badges we touched on earlier. I'm curious from your perspective, do those little badges really make a difference? I see them everywhere, but I wonder if people actually notice them or if they just blend into the background.
I used to think they were just visual clutter, but I've actually caught myself being reassured by those badges, especially when I'm making a purchase on a new site. If it's a brand, I don't know. Well, seeing that secure checkout badge or a seal from a reputable organization definitely makes me feel more comfortable.
You've hit on a key point. They're particularly powerful for new or unfamiliar brands. They act as a form of social proof, a visual signal that says, hey, other people trust us and so can you.
And they reinforce the idea that you're a legitimate business that takes security and customer satisfaction seriously.
Exactly. And remember, the key is to choose badges that are relevant to your target audience and align with your brand values. Don't just throw up any random badge. Be strategic about it.
Now, before we wrap things up, I want to circle back to one last element that I think is often underestimated: live chat support. I've become such a fan of this feature, and it seems like more and more sites are offering it.
It's definitely becoming an e-commerce staple, and for good reason. Think about it from the customer's perspective. They have a question, maybe they're hesitant about something, and they want an immediate answer. Live chat provides that instant gratification, which can be a major deciding factor in whether they complete the purchase or abandon their cart.
It's like having that personal shopper experience, but online. You're right there with them, ready to answer their questions, address their concerns, and guide them toward the right decision.
And it's not just about providing information, it's about building a connection. That personal touch can make a world of difference in turning a casual browser into a loyal customer.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into optimizing Shopify product pages, what are some of the key takeaways you hope our listeners will remember?
Well, first and foremost, think mobile first. The majority of people are shopping on their phones these days, so design your pages with that in mind. Make sure your site is responsive, your buttons are easy to tap, and your images are optimized for smaller screens.
Absolutely. And don't underestimate the power of visual storytelling. Invest in high-quality product photos, both standard shots and lifestyle images, that help customers envision themselves using the product.
And remember, your product descriptions are more than just lists of features and specs. Tell a story, evoke emotions, and connect with the customer on a personal level.
Right. And don't forget those subtle but powerful trust signals, like social proof in the form of reviews and strategically placed trust badges. They can make a big difference in building credibility and reassuring customers.
And finally, consider incorporating live chat support into your strategy. That human touch can be a game changer, providing personalized assistance, building relationships, and ultimately boosting conversions.
I love that.
Mhm.
So for our listeners out there who are ready to take their Shopify stores to the next level, what's one final thought you'd like to leave them with?
I'd say this. Don't be afraid to experiment and iterate. Test different approaches, analyze your data, and see what resonates best with your unique audience. There's no one-size-fits-all solution, so embrace the process of continuous improvement.
That's such great advice. And remember, if you're looking for a powerful tool to help you optimize your Shopify store, check out Growth Suite. Growth Suite helps you run smart discount campaigns and take your e-commerce game to the next level. Test it for free on the Shopify App Store. Just land on the Shopify App Store now and test it for free. Until next time, happy optimizing.